I'm always amazed at like just how quick it goes. I click the button, just live right away. But like clicking the don't go live button always takes a long time. Anyway, hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I'm Nicholas W. Fuller, and this is my show where I get to talk with wonderful authors and folks, creative people, and get to know a little bit about the person behind the pages that created the wonderful thing. Today, I'm joined by Alex Arch. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. You?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I
Yeah.
will say it was a little bit of a madhouse getting here this morning. Like I have my writing group on Saturday morning, so I went and I did that for a while. Then I came home and like my wife is making a whole bunch of pancakes and waffles with my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, before she's gonna head out the door and do something with her. And my son, my 11-year-old son, is like losing his tooth and it's barely holding on. So like there's a plate with pancakes and blood on the table as I'm going. Like it was madness, but we're here. We're
Oh
here.
well, I'm pretty excited to be here. So thank you for your time and thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely. My pleasure. I just hope there's not like a child with one missing tooth coming in. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it's gonna be funny if it happens. Like I have two children
True.
too, so
Good point. How old are your children?
there's my girl who's 10 years old and my boy
Okay.
who's 8. He's gonna be 8
Nice.
this week on the 19th.
Hey,
Four
hey,
days.
my daughter's gonna be 4 on the 25th, so not too far behind,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's pretty cool. My
Yeah.
son has baseball practice this morning, and my daughter she's got school projects, so she's going to a friend's house. They shouldn't come
Nice.
and pass in the
There,
street.
there, there won't be any like gushing blood and missing teeth with your children, hopefully. Okay,
There
good,
shouldn't be.
good. Hey Richard, see you in the comments. Glad that you're around. Thanks for hanging out.
Hi,
Um,
Richard.
I do see your question. Before we get to that real quick, of course, Alex, a round of applause is due because you just dropped a book today, huh? Huh?
Yeah, I'm super happy about it. Well, actually, like the paperback was available yesterday because of
Yeah.
Amazon, but
That's
the official release date was today. So it's the source
there it is.
the
Look at
proof
that beauty.
right
I'm gonna
here.
make it only you for a second. Show that beauty.
All
No,
right. Oh.
no, not.
Hi. Oh, so yeah, that's the Source of Strife, and it releases today. I'm pretty happy about it. You can see the whole version of the paperback. The paperback, but the real one doesn't have the not for resale. That's the proof copy that I ordered for my wife. Actually, I'm pretty happy about it, and I hope some people can enjoy it too.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and listen, I
Thanks.
know Richard. I made that mistake. Like I wasn't saying that I'm the beauty. Like, whoops. No, that's nice. So, what's the? I'm a writer too, so of course we judge books not by pages but by word count. What's the word count on that bad boy? Look pretty chunky.
It's 105,000.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
Yeah, it's
size.
for about 400 pages.
Nice.
Yeah, I could have made it longer, but I tried to keep it like tight.
Fair. Yeah, you got to make sure every word counts, right? Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Uh,
I tried to do. So there's a lot packed in there. I would say.
nice. Richard says, "How does it feel to finally hold it in your hands?"
Nah, it feels super good. Yeah, when I first came, like I was really happy with the results, like the colors and yeah, really love that cover. Yeah, it was
Nice,
done by Indigo Janar. He's an artist I found on ArtStation.
nice.
And I really love his style for real. I just asked him like it's an epic fantasy with a western style, so
Yeah,
you can see it like really well because of the band here. But there's like a cowboy hat on Dini. Well,
sure.
Dini is the main character for she's the one of the main characters, and yeah, so it's a fantasy with a western vibes and like there's these monsters, and I think you pretty much
Love it.
nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the other character has like a bandolier with like kind of this blue shot in it that gives me like kind of a fantasy sci-fi vibe, and then like the monsters kind of have a zombie vibe. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. The monster have a bit of a zombie vibe. I can't say too much about that because
Yeah, spoilers.
it's yeah, it might be a spoiler. And he's got like this weapon in here. It's like a revolver. That's not how they call it in the book because it's his invention. Like he's the only one who
Oh,
can
that's
use
cool.
it. But it looks like
Nice,
yeah, that's where the Western
nice.
vibes come from.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So, like, getting little hints here. Give us a little bit more of like kind of like, do you have a pitch on the back of the book or the pitch that you like put on Amazon? Let's hear, a little bit about the
Yeah,
book.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this
I believe in
well with my accent.
you. No, you're good. You're good.
So it starts with energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only stolen. Mages feed on catalysts like Dini to enhance their spells, and since she's the most formidable weapon alive, they will stop at nothing to control her. Even her parents, leaders of warring realms, wage a battle for her custody, imprisoning her to prevent the other from gaining the upper hand. No more. For the first time, Dini isn't alone. With the help of Ghost, a glum deserter shackled to his past, she intends to flee this madness, but as they witness the horrors unleashed to retrieve her, one thing becomes clear. Her parents will never abandon their claim. Death and destruction follow in Dini's wake, and she must decide if her freedom is worth the cost.
Dang. Okay. All right. Stakes, man. Stakes.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty personal story. I think, like for a fantasy, it's really character driven. So
Nice.
it's really about the journey of Ghost and Dini as they get to plan her escape, and like through all the like her parents are fighting to get who controls her, because Dini has like this magical power that she oozes but she can't use. So others can steal it from her, but so her parents fight for her about that, because she's like the biggest source of power in the realm. Wow. And yeah, she's trying to escape, and Ghost will help her. Ghost is like a deserter from the army, and he's got PTSD and he's got depression. But as their relationship and their bond grows, they both grow. And the core of the story is really about their journey, and like getting yourself out of a hard place, like taking the next step to get out of a hard place, because sometimes it's hard. It's to take that first step to get yourself out of a dark place, and that's what the story is about. Always to keep fighting, and it's a hopeful story in the end. It's like you can do it, however hard you have it, you can do it. So that's what I was trying to show with the story.
I love it. Hey,
thanks.
Good morning, Ryan. Good
Hi.
to see you. And I think now might be a good time to add our other friend to the chat, and we can talk a little bit more about your book a little bit more. Let's do this. Hey, Bo. Hey, bud.
Hey.
Hi,
how's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going good. Thanks for joining us, Bo.
No problem. I was just reading a book. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not.
Oh, perfect. I've heard of it. We were just discussing said book, actually. Well, thanks for joining us, Bo. Alex invited you to come join on his book launch party this morning. So glad you could be here with us.
Yeah, I'm super happy you're here, Bo.
Thanks for having me.
Bo's here. So have you already read the book or not yet, Bo?
I have not. I woke up early this morning just knowing that it was going to be on this, and read the first 2 chapters of it just to kind of get a feel for Alex's writing, to see if it was what I remember from his original book that I read. So, and it doesn't disappoint. If anyone's read The Stars Within, I think they will feel right at home with Alex's style of writing right away.
Nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, we were just talking about the story before I kind of brought you into the chat. I love the idea that you have, Alex, of like this woman is I sort of feel like she's like a battery for power, where she can't like use it herself, you said, but she can sort of share that power with other people. That's really cool. I like that. Seems pretty original to me. How'd you come up with that idea?
Well, the way I work is usually I have the themes of the story, and this one was like a balance of power, and there's always like this that people can take advantage of you. So I started with a team, and then I built the magic system around it, and that's what I came up. And that's exactly what they are. They're kind of batteries. That's not what they call in the book, because like it's a fantasy, so there's no batteries in that world. So I call them catalysts, and both the version that he's got is not the final one. I had it like a little diagram with all the powers and the stuff at the beginning with a little glossary, so that it would be clearer and more easy to visualize that magic system, because there's all these parts that need to be put together. And I thought it was like it might be a little bit complicated, so I added a glossary that I don't have it in my version either, but in the final version there's gonna have that.
Nice.
Challenge accepted. I'll figure it out.
Well, I think you can understand it without it, but I just wanted to add it to have a. But I can send it to you if you want. I can send you the version, maybe because it's kind of it's a cool diagram. I love it. I posted it on my Twitter somewhere.
He did say challenge accepted. That seems like a no to me.
Well, he won't be forced to open it.
Yeah, true. Do the characters kind of understand these different pieces like at the beginning, or is it something that they have to figure out?
No, they understand pretty much how it works.
Okay. Interesting. Well, this sounds fun. So the book is on Amazon now, right? So everyone can go on Amazon and get it right now. Yes?
Right now, everyone can get it. The ebook is out, and the paperback, like I said, was Amazon put it on yesterday, because I think it's kind of hard to have a predetermined launch date with Amazon, because it's like it takes 72 hours or something before it can be put online. So I put it like 2 days in advance, and it was ready in 24 hours. So I had a surprise on the 14th that people could order the paperback.
Surprise! Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, so people should go check that out already. That's cool. Let's say, I asked in the chat if anyone has questions about that book or your process, and Richard says he'd love to know a little bit more about your process. Alex, are you a plotter, a pantser, somewhere in between?
Well,
obviously, you said you start with the themes, right?
Exactly, and I'm a mix of both, because as Bo can say from the Stars Within, I love to integrate a few twists in my stories. So there's a few in the Source of Strife too. You learn stuff at the end that change the story up a bit, and so I usually starts with the beginning and the end, and I start with the themes, and then I build the world and the magic and everything around it. But when I have a story, I usually have the beginning, then I have the ending, and I put some stuff in the middle, that like some character moments that I need to hit at a certain time to make them grow, and the rest in between is all free game. So nice. That's how I work. For the Stars Within, it was a bit different because of the ending. So I had the ending. I started with the ending, and then I built from the ending, because like that in the Stars Within, it's a pretty big twist that's integral to the story. So I started building it from the end. But for the Source of Strife, I just had like the one sentence. I wanted to finish with a precise sentence. So I had that one sentence that I wanted to finish it with, and then I build the characters' moments and everything in between. In the Source of Strife, there's one particular character that changed the story a bit.
So is there going to be a big twist in this one, like in the Stars Within?
No, it's not as big as the Stars Within, but I think there's like 2 or 3 twists that might surprise you, I think.
It sounds like, I mean, obviously we don't want to reveal too much, but it does sound like you kind of just said like there's something like towards the end of this book that sort of recontextualizes some of the story and makes you think about it in a different way. Is that true?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
That's
well, I don't want to go into too much details, but it changes a lot of how you see the story and how you see certain characters, I think.
That's interesting. That's exciting. I feel like that's not necessarily an easy thing to pull off. So, kudos to you for even attempting it. That's not an easy thing, like I said.
Yeah, well, I think like I only have 2 books. Well, I have a short story that I think is worth reading. It's like 20 pages, and it's really a big metaphor. So there's also a twist at the end. So but I like to shake things up. Like I like to change how the reader views the world, and I think that's something that I have a few other projects in mind, and I think that's something that I try to make my brand, if you want. Like I'm gonna do it in mostly every book. There's always going to be a surprise somewhere in there.
Nice. I like it. What the short story, I assume, is available on your website?
Yeah, it's on my website, and it's in my newsletter. But really, if anyone wants it, they can just message me. I'll be happy to give it to them. The short story, I think it's worth reading. So
nice. And what's your website again, or other ways that they should get in contact with you? Not that I'm, just want to drop this as we're talking,
Yeah, well, my website is I couldn't tell you the exact, because it's like on the Wix. So if you type Alexarch SSF author, you're gonna find it in Google. Like it's the first one that pops out.
I got it. I'm gonna drop it in chat. I got it. Boop. Okay. Cool. Oh, hey, Joe Burns around. What's up, bud? And so before we get back to the more serious, where Ryan had a more serious question, but first I got to go to NJ. Deezad had to say hello to fellow boy band members. So of course, we had this this one on Twitter where yesterday we're
Yeah,
just
well,
saying,
look,
hey, Alex
look
and
at
I are
his
gonna
picture. Like
right? No,
he would be
yeah.
perfect in a boys
You-
band. Like,
So Alex and NJ are going to start a boy band together because they're, according to Richard, I think the two of them are competing for like handsomest guest that I've had. And then it became a constructing a boy band together. So I think we've got I don't know, like Rob Lee, myself. We maybe had DB Rook, but I'm not sure if he can really has the dance moves while he's playing drums. So like we'll have to see. Good times. Thanks for
It
joining.
does kind of give off that NSYNC Joey Fatone vibe with that photo. I'm just saying.
Right? I mean, he works it. He works it. Also, Nick, on a serious note, super glad to see you back and glad you're okay, bud. But yeah, man. So let's get back to more a little bit more serious, but on topic. Ryan says your perspective of your previous books evolved as you've learned more as a writer and evaluated your craft. I love that question because obviously this is not your first book. You've got that short story that we're talking about and the other book. So had a couple goes at this now. I think it probably does change your perspective at crack one, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, the thing is, The Stars Within is such a personal book to me that the craft, like for me, like I know maybe for someone who buys it, but the craft for me is not. It's not about the craft of the writing for The Source of Strife. It's really the story and like the personal and the emotions the characters go through. Because like Bo read it, but the Source of Strife talks about cancer a lot, and like my mom died of cancer, and I wrote it like right after she died from it. So I was really, the emotions are raw, and what you see in the book on the pages is really like it was cathartic for me. So I was like really processing all that stuff at the same time that I wrote The Stars Within. So and it really helped me, for real, really helped me a lot. But The Source of Strife, I started writing it a bit before, like because I queried the Stars Within, and a publisher picked it up. So I worked with an editor from Champagne Book, and that elevated my craft. Like when I came back to The Source of Strife after editing and that the Stars Within came out, like I noticed immediately like that my craft had elevated a lot just by working, knowing my overused words and knowing all the mistakes I had done. So I don't look back at The Stars Within that way. But when I came back to The Source of Strife, the first chapters, I really had to edit it like thoroughly. Like,
I was curious on that. Like I know that English is not your native first language, and I know you've talked about getting nervous on live streams with it at times. How is that to write?
I don't see why. I mean, I think you speak better than I
agree.
do.
Like it feels natural to me when I hear you talk. Like I don't ever see you struggle with it, but I know that you've said that, and you're one of the few authors I know that's not your normal language. So how is that to write in English and to translate that over? Like, do you find that more difficult? Does it take you extra time because you got to look up the right corresponding word of what you're thinking versus what it would be in English then for you?
Yeah, for sure. It takes me longer to write a book than I would think. If English was my first language, it would take me a much shorter time to write. But the thing is that I'm nervous on live stream because like sometimes I fear looking for my words, and I'm a bit shy because of my accent. I know
your
some
accent
people say
it just adds to the boy band charm,
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I have to look up some words. Sometimes I know like the word is just right there, but it doesn't compute from my brain to my mouth when I speak. But I know it exists. I know it's there. Sometimes like I when I'm writing, I formulate like 3-4 words that I know could like just be one word, and that word I have to look it up. Or it's just like I mix up words from English and French together. Like I smash them together and form a new word that doesn't exist. And yeah, that's mostly what happens. But I've read all my life in English, so I think I'm more proficient writing in English than I am in French. Because I was The next project I'm working on is like a middle grade fantasy that I wrote so that my children could read it.
Nice.
And I wrote it in English and then I translated it in French.
Okay.
And I had so much more problem in French. There's so much, so much details that I didn't thought about that to write in French, because things have a gender in French, and the verbs, like there are a lot of tense that you can use, and the negations are not done the same. So all these were like, oh, okay, I hadn't thought about that before I decided to translate it. So.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've talked with Greg Kontaxis, who's a Greek author that lives in London, and he writes in Greek to begin with, but then he himself translates it to English, and like, good for him. Like, I couldn't. I wish I could speak another language, but like I have tried many times, but my shame, I can't learn Spanish, and my abuela, rest in peace. Like, she let it go eventually, but like, yeah, that's wild, man. Like, and that's really interesting too. Yeah, the translating it to the French, so much more to think about. That's but when you're writing in English, you don't think about the gender of certain things, I guess, huh? Like, you just don't have to. So why bother, right?
No, exactly. You don't have to think about it. And since I was talking the other day, and like I've always read in English since I was a child. So I started with like RPG games, and way back then it was all text based. So I started reading it like when I was 5 or 6 in English, and I've never stopped. And usually when a book releases in English, that's the version I'm going to pick up. When it released in French, that's the version I'm going to pick up. So
yeah. Well, and that's a good question. Richard asked, would you ever publish a book in French? But he also kind of followed that up with like, what the vast issues of the vast majority of the market is in English, which, I mean, not only is the vast majority of the market English, the vast majority of the market is US, right?
I'm not sure I would self-publish in French. I don't even know how it would work. But if I find a publisher like the middle grade, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it with on the American market, and I'm gonna try it too on the Quebec market. So because I really want, like, if I manage to publish it in the United States, I'm probably gonna like show them the translated version. But it's really translated like in the Quebecer, which is different than French, because the way it's written, like it's a little boy that writes in his diary, and like the Quebecer French is not the same for a 12-year-old. Like he would never write. He would write like he speaks. So it's really written in like the weird French that we speak. and yeah,
that's similar to Spanish then.
Sorry.
There's like, I said it's similar to Spanish then, where like depending on the region you're at, there's lots of variations to the actual dialect.
Yeah. Quebec is another story. It's like if you read in like France French and Quebec French, the way I wrote it, it's really not the same. And we have a lot more swear words too.
Well, that's words I can usually remember.
I don't know if I am allowed to say them. My children are not here, so I could, but
YouTube is not a big fan of much swearing, sadly. If it wasn't for YouTube, I'd be dropping way more F-bombs. But yeah, that was my trouble with Spanish, though, is that like I was learning Spanish primarily in high school in Southern California, and they were teaching Spanish the way that Mexicans speak it because we were close. But my mother was Argentine, but also spent time in Puerto Rico, and my grandmother was Puerto Rican. So like all of them were just like it made, I couldn't figure it out. It was too different between all of them, But yeah, well, awesome. I want to kind of transition probably to more silly stuff, including Richard's initial question. Is there anything you want to say about the book before we sort of shift gears a little bit? Besides, everyone should go buy it. Everyone go buy it.
Yeah, everybody should go buy it. But I think I've said pretty much about it. Like, if you like really a hard magic system and a more personal-driven story, go pick it up. And I like to compare it. I like to describe it as like John Wick meets Red Dead Redemption with magic, but where you need where you need to kill someone to empower your spells. Because what I didn't say earlier is that the batteries, like they have a finite amount of energy. So if you drain them too much, they're going to die. So that's another part of it, the story that like it gives a dangerous edge to it. But that's my pitch for it. So if it interests you, go buy it.
Love it. Oh, perfect. Well done, Bo. Well done. And Bo, you read the first 2 chapters this morning. You've read Alex's previous work. Anything that you want to kind of add?
What I'd say is that if it even comes close to how it lived, how the Source of Strife still lives in my brains, I'll be happy. Like that, I read that book in 2023, and I don't think I've recommended a book more to people that say they need something as a short palate cleanser. Like it's most people would recommend like cozy fantasy or something that's just easy to read, or even a YA book, which I do at times. But that's one of the ones that, while it's not super long, the impact in it and just the twist in it is one of the best. Like there's 2 books that I often think of when it comes to a twist at the end. It's that, and it's Justin Anderson's The Lost War. It's like those 2 twists I absolutely did not see coming. And I've got friends and family that hate watching movies with me because by halfway through, I know what's going to happen at the end. Like I know where it's at. They've tested me a couple of times where like they make me write it down and then set like a sheet of paper aside, and they check it afterwards, and they get so ticked off at how spot on I am. This one, knowing Alex's backstory with the book, because that's how we actually met, was hearing about that, and right after I had gone through something similar. So like there was a mutual connection right there in terms of losing our mothers and things like that, that I should have had some idea of what was going to happen with that twist, but I did. It blindsided me. I put the book down and was immediately mad that there wasn't a physical copy that I could buy and start giving away, because it is that good that everyone should have a copy on their shelf as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Really, Bo, like what you do thank you for taking a chance on the Stars Within. For real, it means a lot to me, and especially like I wanted to invite you. I guess the first time we speak like face to face, and I think it's really awesome. Everything you do for all indie authors, SSF Insider. I'm on the Discord, and like I said yesterday, it's really my favorite Discord server. I'm always on this one. It's the one I participate the most on, and I think you built a really awesome community there.
Well, thank you. We do our best to try and help everybody out.
Round of applause for Bo and for SFF Insiders community. Yep. How do we always end up on grief, man? How does I feel like
life is really grimdark.
I guess.
That's why I don't understand the obsession of reading grimdark. It's like we live that right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, the Source of Strife is hopeful. It's an hopeful story. It's exactly. It's like it starts bleak, but then the characters learn to live through it, and they push through the bleak stage. And it's really because like one of the major theme is overcoming your struggles and overcoming depression. And I think that's what I aim to do with Ghost, especially. Mm-hmm. And it's a more hopeful story.
And it's good that you have that in there, because that's something I think a lot of people struggle with, and especially in guys, a lot of them won't acknowledge it. But like the mental health aspect, especially post-COVID and everything that went through, like everybody's been dealing with something into some regard. And so having the themes of hope and having that in there of being able to see that things can be overcome, I think is a huge thing in books like that. Some of the books that I enjoy the most right now are stuff that have that. Like that's why when I actually just finished Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, the character he killed off, like that was what he exuded. And I was so mad. I put the book down. I was like, that's it. I'm going to go rage tweet about this for a minute. I'm not reading anymore. Like I need to just take a breather, because I'm like, you killed the thing that kept hope alive. Like, damn it. But it makes it fun. Like that, having that in a story, like it feels like it's a rarity in a lot of books. And it's something that I definitely enjoy anytime I see it there, because it is something that I think we all need more of in our lives right now.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, and like I'm glad that we as writers, Alex, have this opportunity to express ourselves in this way. I wrote like a short after my mother passed also, and I found it really cathartic also. And it sounds like you put some of that into this story, which is wonderful. Like I hope that the book does well, but even if it hasn't, right? you've already gained something by creating it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because, well, I'm sorry to talk about the bleakness again, but like
Yeah, no,
the
go.
way the character, like the stars wouldn't help me deal with this situation, but the way the character starts in the Source of Strife, that's the way I was back then. So it's like the evolution and writing all that stuff down, and going through it, processing it through the page. That's helped me like immensely to overcome all that grief and to get out of my dark place too. So writing really helped me. But writing both those books, that's what it brought to me for real.
Yeah,
and I could see with like the Source of Strife, like even just the little bit of that I've been able to read so far this morning, just to kind of check it out ahead of time. I could see even kids or people that have ever gone through like a divorce immediately connecting with that opening and feeling that power struggle between two parents as things are going awry. Like, I don't know where the story is going to go, but just that opening part, like that was the first thing that came to mind, is just thinking about what that would be like in that regard, and that back and forth tuggle of trying to figure out like where you're going to go, or who's really got your best interest at heart and who's using you because of the situation. And like, you can definitely see that manipulation on both sides starting right from the very beginning.
Yeah, I already had an ARC reader reach out to me, and I was like I was super surprised. And an ARC reader reached out to me and said like she was going through a similar situation, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so touched that like someone went through it and found it like really. I don't know if she found it helpful, but they found it like super. They connected to the story like really well, really impactful. So I was like, I was really touched by that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we spent a moment with that. Let's take a deep breath.
Let's get to the fun part.
Let's get to yeah. No, it's good. I completely agree with you, Bo. Like, we need more of that. We need more, and I'm glad that like we have that in your book, Alex. But let's talk about some silly shit. All right, freaking pineapple on pizza. Let's go. Is it pineapple on pizza big no, Alex, or what?
No, why does it always come up? I'm a big fan of pineapple on pizza, and I know I'm gonna get thrown under the bus.
Whatever, dude. No, I'm with you. I'll be under the bus with you. I like pineapple on the pizza. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I really love like Hawaiian pizza is like my favorite. It's among my favorite. It's among my favorite.
I get like a Supreme, and I have them at like, well, take your olives off of it because olives are an abomination. But add
whoa. My
Let's
favorite pizza combo is pepperoni and black olives. Calm down now.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, you can have that one, and I'll have one with pineapple, and everyone's happy. You know.
I'll do pineapple on like the Hawaiian pizzas, or even add pineapple to other stuff, or even like. I don't know if you guys have them where you're at, but like we have a place called Pita Pit that's kind of like an alternative to like a Subway or something like that.
Sure.
And I'll get a buffalo chicken and have them throw a pineapple in that with like their what they call their shug sauce, which is like a jalapeno pepper sauce they make. So it's like a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy. Like, pineapple's good on everything. Anybody that's hating on pineapple, just you can leave. Go out the door.
That's funny.
Hopefully there's no Italians there. I hear they don't like it when we like pizza with the pineapple.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Right?
Bacon with pineapple is really good. Oh, Trinity yeah.
I mean, have you had real Italian pizza? I've seen that stuff. It's like cardboard with runny sauce coming off of it. Like, that's not even pizza.
Oh man. Oh, shots fired. All right. Corinne with the disagreement. Bold move here in a bunch of pineapple lovers, but okay. You stick to your guns. I respect it. I respect it.
Right now I was seeing like mostly more people than not like pineapple pizza. So I think like we're a silent majority. Like, we don't talk much about it because we're scared, but today it ends.
Today it ends. All right. Richard, though, I don't know, bro. What?
Too far.
Too far. Tuna? I don't know, dude.
I've heard some weird UK combos. That must be one of them. Right?
Not only have I never seen tuna on a pizza, I have never had the thought to put tuna on my pizza, and I'm gonna stick with that. I don't think that's the way, man.
Well, if Richard says it, I might try it.
All right, you try it. You report back.
Okay? I'm gonna report back to you guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Another fun, different thing, maybe less fun. But I find it very interesting, Alex. Your day job is you're a firefighter, which
Yeah.
I definitely don't think I've had a firefighter on the show. So that's pretty interesting. Like what kind of hours do you actually work, and then how like have you clearly you have enough time to write, which is good. I do like that. I'm a small business owner and I mostly make websites. So a lot of times I feel like I'm working all the time. Whereas I'm sure for you, when you leave the station, your work is over. So that part must be very nice.
Yeah.
But like, I do also say, like, because I make websites, I'm like, we're not saving lives here. Sometimes like an emergency is not an emergency, but for you a little bit different. Like, so what is the job like, and how also like how does it leave you time for the creative work and inform any of your creative work, or does it? I guess you probably have a different perspective on like life-saving missions in an action scene than like maybe I would.
Yeah, well, as a firefighter, I work 24-hour shifts. So
Wow. Okay.
when I'm not home a day, I'm not home at all. So we work the whole 24 hours, but we have a lot of um, of days where we're not working in between. So that's when I write. I write when my kids are at school. So
Okay.
I write when I can. I have a lot of stuff to do, of course, outside. But yeah, the emergency part, like even if I start to sell like 100,000 books, which I hope I will, but I wouldn't leave the fire station. I would never leave the fire station. It's way too cool of a job. It's like we're talking right now, the three of us, but then the ring, the bell rings, and that we have to go, and we don't know what's going to happen. But what we know is that we're going to go help someone. So like for me, that rush and that feeling of like of importance, well, that feeling of doing something good, like I would never like drop it, no matter what. And I think it helped me write my book. Like Ghost is in the army. He was in the army. He deserted because like he has PTSD from everything he's done, everything he's seen. So that helped me. Like we have a bit of classes on that, on to know what the symptoms are, how to recognize them. So that helped me write that character. Like I knew what PTSD was because we talk about it so much to make sure that like if one of us has it, he can recognize it. So I think that helps me and to write like compelling characters and action scenes too, because there's a lot of action scenes in there too.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love the way you like portray it. Like, we're just hanging out, and then if there's a call, we get to go help someone. Like, you make it sound very chill though, which I don't think it's always super chill. Like,
well, it's not super chill, but like you get used to it. It's like it's your life, and
sure.
I think like you need to have the mentality for it too. Like I think you need to be able to handle that stress. But I really love. I think it's something that I love about the job. It's like you're there, you're talking with your friends, you're eating or something, and then bang, you go and you leave because there's a fire going on, and then you leave, and all the sirens go out, and I think it's really a cool like dichotomy in the job, and that I really love it. It's a feeling I love. Like
I can't imagine it not being very rewarding work. But
you described it the way one of my friends here describes. Is basically like you're at a clubhouse, you're hanging out, and there can be days where things are very slow and there's not a lot going on, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, you're rushing into a fire, sight unseen, trying to help people and get everybody out. And that adrenaline rush they get from me is like, I can't give it up. It's addicting.
Yeah.
Like you're a brave really man when I run into fire. Like that doesn't sound exciting to me, but I mean, I would do it for somebody I love, but like to go do it for random strangers, no, thank you.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't know it, but the worst part of being in a fire is that you don't see nothing. Like the smoke is just dark. You can't even see your hand in front of your eyes. So I think that's like
up there, Alex. Do you guys have where you guys go out to like the schools, like the elementary schools, and like simulate that for the kids? Because I know here as a kid, they brought like out this like little mini house that they simulated what a fire would be like, and with the smoke and stuff to a small degree, so you could get an idea of like how to get down on the ground and crawl out of all of it and things like that.
Yeah, we do it. Well, it's not in Montreal. It's not us that do it. We have a division for that. So, but yeah, they do it. They make simulations, and I'm not sure that we have like the smokehouse. I don't think we do for the children. We have it for our
For your
our
training.
Yeah, but I don't think they have it for the school. Maybe they do, but like I said, it's another division. So
Yeah, with us, they just did like a really heavy, like a fog machine of some sort, I'm sure, to kind of simulate
Yeah.
the blindness that you would have in it.
yeah,
Wow.
and it's crazy. Sometimes like you're on the roof and you can't even see where it ends. So that's I just had a fire like this winter. Like it was super slippery. The whole roof was ice, and you didn't see where it ended. So I was like crawling on my all fours, just so as to not fall on the other. I know I'm
Yeah.
laughing, but like for me,
Yeah.
it's fun. So I don't know.
I did roofing right out of high school for a while, and that's what made me give it up, was doing roofing in the winter when everything was slippery. I was like, nope, this sucks. I don't want to do this. So I can't imagine that with smoke and fire going. No, thank you.
So, boy, okay. What's like what's like the shortest call you've done? Also, Richard asked if you've rescued a cat. So yeah.
That is well, I can't say for everyone, but where we are, we don't rescue cats anymore because like they usually get done by themselves. The only so yeah, we would never rescue a cat from a tree. Not me. Maybe there are departments that do it, but we don't do it anymore.
So, Bo, Alex would not go out with Carl to get Princess Donut.
Neither would I. Let Princess Donut sit out there and freeze. The start of the book,
dead,
she's such a jerk.
Well, true. But what's the longest fire you've been on? Like, have you been out on a fire for hours and hours and hours?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, usually like we get I don't know the word in English, but there are other people that come to replace us.
Okay.
But the longest call I had, it was like, I think it lasted, I'm not sure, but like a bit over 48 hours, the whole call.
Wow.
So I went there, and then like they returned me, and then we washed our equipment, and then we returned to that fire, and then we went back, and then the next shift I was working, we returned to it. So yeah, I think that was definitely the longest call. I think it was where they do the recycling, like a big where they all put the garbage that's supposed to be recycling, and it was like burning all over the place. So yeah, it was the longest call we had.
Word. That's a long time. That's crazy. So it sounds like, though, you're a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. Have you done other kind of like extreme things? You ever been skydiving or something like that?
No, I did bungee once. I haven't, but skydiving, I think it looks cool. I've done a lot of kayaking and rock climbing when I was younger.
Okay.
I don't do it anymore because of my body. I'm not elastic enough for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So you trust a big rubber band, but you don't trust a parachute, is what I'm hearing.
I would trust a parachute. I think I just never got the chance in my life. But yeah, I should go do it. Definitely should.
Yeah, I've done it, and it's quite fun. It's quite the experience. The only thing actually when I did it low, like I had trouble equalizing my ears on the way back down. So
Okay, yeah.
like I felt like some pressure for a while after, but it was not bad. You play, I think you said guitar, right? And you've played in front of like 300 people.
Yeah, ready for the boys band all my life.
We need to work out our choreography, but like
we need to get Zach Argyle in there. He plays as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about him too. I think he replied something, and I was like, "Yeah, Zach Argyle is sure to come in our boys band.
He's welcome, Zach. If you're watching, come join our boy band.
We need him.
We need him. That's fun. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we used to play a lot of rock and roll back in the days, like hard rock and
nice.
Stuff like. Yeah, we mostly played like covers, but we had a few songs of our own, but not enough to make a CD.
Oh, really? Okay, nice. What kind of covers would you play?
We played some Rage Against the Machines. I think we played. I honestly like they're not the hardest song to play, but I think to me they were the most fun to play. Like the energy they give off,
Right.
It's incredible. Yeah, and we had like a when we stopped playing, we had our friends who were getting married and we're supposed to play like a 80s band, and we played like Bon Jovi and Def Leppard and stuff like that. It was really fun to play. I really loved it.
Bon Jovi is my go-to at a karaoke bar. Like you
Yeah,
just
for sure. Yeah.
right, sing some "Living on a Prayer" and you're gonna get the whole bar like singing with you. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Alex, do your kids play any instruments then, since you play?
My daughter started playing the drum, but then she gave up, and now she's starting the guitar at school.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
really good. My son, I think, well, he's a bit young right now, but sometimes we play and sing together, and he loves it. So maybe I'm
That's
gonna get him
cool.
on board. Yeah.
You play, like, when you say we play and sing together, you mean you and him, or like you and your wife, or?
Well, I'm playing, and like he's singing. Like yeah, he did a little not a karaoke, yeah, a bit of a karaoke show at the school, and he had so much fun.
That's awesome. Richard says you need to sing for us. I'm not going to put you on the spot like that, unless you
Oh
want
my
to.
god!
But...
Oh my god! No, you don't want that. I told people on the internet, don't ask me to
like,
sing.
no,
If
not
you
the
do,
sing.
like sometimes when I have a few too many drinks, I try to sing. So don't let me. Don't let me.
So what I'm hearing is we need to get him to WorldCon, and we need shots. And
Yeah,
then Alex will be
right.
entertained.
And the karaoke. Oh, I'm gonna
Oh my
sing. I'm
God.
gonna burst your ears.
Dude, Bo, can we get like a big karaoke party together during Worldcon? We should do that. That would be so amazing.
I mean,
What do you think?
I'm sure it's possible to arrange.
I'm sure.
And when I'm at a karaoke with a few drinks, I have like no shame in my inability to sing. No shame at all.
I mean, that's half the fun. Like a karaoke bar where people only sing good is not a real karaoke bar. You gotta have, a balance, right? That's fun. Totally lost where I had something, but I don't know. Well, are you planning to go ahead?
No, I was just saying you had a squirrel moment there.
Squirrel, yeah, exactly. Squirrel. Are you planning to come to Worldcon, Alex? Or also in the chat, who is coming to Worldcon? I know some of you are.
Well, I'm not planning right now because of money. But I would love to. I would really love to go.
So once again, sure, everyone go out and buy Alex's book. Let's get Alex to Worldcon.
It's like I wanted to have I might do it to sell signed copies of the Source of Strife, but in Canada the shipping costs are so high and it's hard to justify. But if anyone, I can do email me if anyone wants a signed copy. I would be happy to send you one. It's just like the price will vary depending on where you are, and it's really hard to do from where I am. But
yeah,
I'm open to it.
We can work something out. Richard has a good idea. Maybe we just start a fire there and you'll start up.
That Worldcon. It's a bit far, but yeah. Don't start any fire, people. I'm not promoting that.
No. Cool. Yeah, playing guitar. Let's talk just for funsies about video games too. I know you mentioned in my little questionnaire one of your favorite video games was Mass Effect 2. Solid choice.
Yeah.
What stuff do you play these days? Like, kind of go back to some of those, or you play like Valorant as well as Bo, or what are you playing?
No, well, since I'm an adult in my adult life, like I have less time, and I mostly play with my brother, so
Nice.
It's mostly online games. Sometimes I have a few single players in there, but I mostly play. Like right now, we just bought Monster Hunter Wild, and I play with my bro. And that's been really fun. I played Path of Exile 2 with him too.
Nice.
So so those are I mostly play RPGs and stuff like that. But my heart always goes out for Dragon Age and Mass Effect.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. I was talking with Bearded Book Beast the other day, and like I forgot to mention Mass Effect and Dragon Age. I just mentioned Chrono Trigger, which is like it's still one of my favorite from the old days.
Sure,
but I forgot like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, which are my favorite single player games these days.
Nice. Yep, I'm in the same boat though. Like the games are kind of my way to socialize with my brother. So He's been super into Path of Exile, but I've kind of been resisting so that I can spend some time writing.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Right? But I played a lot of Helldivers, as Bo knows, because I keep pushing Bo towards Helldivers. Have you played?
Yeah, we did with my brother. That was a really fun game for us.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Good times. Good times. Well, Bo, you got any questions?
Not currently, no. I think I've picked Alex's brain over the years plenty.
You know what? I got one more thing for you, Alex. You said, I asked, in addition to creative work, anything especially good at or deeply knowledgeable about, and you said cooking. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Well, I cook anything really, and I had like a fascination for vegetarian food these days. Like I cook more and more tofu, and I'm getting really good at it. I even started like to feed the guys at the fire station with tofu, which is a
feat.
A feat in itself. Yeah. And well, I really like to eat like pretty much anything. So and I try everything. So that's not to say I'm vegetarian. I still eat meat, but yeah, I like to cook. I cook at home. I cook at the fire station sometime too. So it's really something that I love. I love like when people come over and like you make like this big feast for them. It's something that I love and something that I enjoy doing. It's like a moment I have to myself when I cook. It's like I put my ears my earbuds and I listen to a book or I listen to songs, and it's really like it's my moment. Sometimes my wife comes and like, hey, can I help you with something? I'm like, no, it's okay. I want to do it by myself. It's like it's like right. It's my moment.
Yeah.
So I really love cooking, and I think over the years I've gotten pretty good at it because I like to explore and I like to look up stuff. So
nice. You said you're in Montreal, right?
Yeah.
What's like a signature Montreal dish?
Well, there's the poutine.
Poutine, yeah, okay.
The poutine. There's a place. Oh my god, I have a blank for what it's called, but it's like it's a lot of different poutines with like there's one that's called the galvaude, and it's like little peas, chicken, and like hot chicken sauce on fries with the cheese, of course. It's really good. I don't know why I have the blank, but it's like in Montreal, and if you ever come eat, look at poutine place, you're gonna find it for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, so like the traditional poutine is like the fries and the cheese curds and I think gravy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the traditional one.
Right. So yeah, I haven't heard too much of like different variations. Too much, at least not like. See, well, there's like a couple pubs I've been to in the U.S. where they're like, oh, we did like a corned beef poutine, and I'm like, you are riffing, and I don't know that you're supposed to be riffing, but I guess it's okay, huh? Like
it gets done. It gets done. Yeah. Sometimes, like I put minced meat on it, and with peppers and mushrooms and the curds and the sauce. You have to have the curds.
Yes.
You cannot have any other cheese on there.
Right. If it's not curds and it's not a French fries, it's you can't call it poutine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. I did.
And there's also like the maple syrup stuff, like the Sugar Shack. I think it's in English. It's a Sugar Shack house. Yeah, that's like all with the beans and the bacon. And I don't know, and I'm gonna swear while saying it, but it's the name of the dish, or les oreilles de Christ. So I don't like it personally, but a lot of people like it. It's like fried lard or something.
Oh, so, wow. Interesting.
So you're saying it's extra healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since you bathe everything in maple syrup, like a whole lot of maple syrup.
Well, I thought that was what you did for every Canadian dish.
Pizza, maple syrup.
Yeah. Buddy the Elf was actually just a Canadian with all the syrup on everything. That's what I heard. All right. Well, you know what? Wait. I've got one more thing, Alex. One more thing to ask you about. Women hockey, Team Canada. Go.
Yeah. That's a pretty funny story. It didn't happen to me, but I was playing hockey. So I wanted to talk about hockey because I'm Canadian, of course.
Right.
But it was like we were starting our game, but we were playing at the same place that Canada women's hockey team was playing, was practicing, and they finished the practice. And like there was a guy who was like at the bathroom, and we didn't know it, so we locked the door because we were going to play our game. And then Hockey Team Canada entered, and he was like still in the bathroom, like, and they started to like come in the bathroom to take their showers. And he was stuck in there, and then he came back like with the captain of the team, like, or something with the under the arm, and he looked like super sheepish. And then he was like, you think you would like that situation, but I felt like so bad. I had never felt so bad in my life. And he was like, I enjoyed nothing of it. It was disgusting. And like, we were like, oh man, because it was an accident. Like we really lucked him, and he was trying to get out. And then they started coming in, and he was like super shy. That was a pretty funny story.
Poor guy. That's funny. That's funny. Well, Alex, remind everyone, where can they go get the Source of Strife, and where and how can they get in contact with you to first, where can they get Source of Strife?
Well, the Source of Strife is available on Amazon. I enrolled in the program to have Kindle Unlimited.
Right.
So you can get it there too right now. So far, it's only available on Amazon. So, and if you want to contact me, I'm on the Discord. I'm on the X, and you can always talk to me on my website. Can always send me an email, and but I'm pretty reachable on X and on Blue Sky too. Always Alexarch author, and that's it.
There we go. Yeah, and I just dropped in the chat the links to your X and your Blue Sky and your website.
Thanks.
Absolutely, everyone should go follow Alex and ask him to sing.
If I receive enough email asking me to sing, I might do it. Who knows?
No, this was great. Thank you for joining me, Alex. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and Bo, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate everything you do for me and for other indie authors. Really.
Well, thank you for the kind words, and happy to come on anytime and hang out.
Yeah. And thank you for reading my stuff. I appreciate it, man.
Not a problem, man. I enjoy your writing. So you're one of the people that's like an instant. The author puts something out, I know I'm going to get it, and I'm going to read it at some point, just because I read the first book and loved it. So like at that point, that was enough. Like it's different when you read a book and you like it versus like when you love it. If I read a book from an author and I love it, like going forward, anything they put out until they really drop the ball, it's a guarantee it's going on my TBR.
Love it. Love it. I was going to say the same.
Thank you
for joining. Appreciate it.
Of course.
And thanks everyone else for being here, for hanging out, for chatting. Go get Alex's book. Go say hi to him. Go tell him that he needs to sing. And also if you can drop a like on the video, that helps me out. Maybe share with your friends, and let's keep talking books online. I hope to see some of you at Worldcon. I'm sure I'll do some videos between now and then, including one with someone else in the chat. But for everyone out there, and for Alex, and for Bo, and for Annie, if no one's told you yet today, you're an absolute legend. Yay.